This took place a couple years ago when I was just 13 or 14 years old. I was living in a 2-story house with my parents and older sister. For some quick context, you need to know our house's layout was a little different. All the bedrooms were upstairs, with the master bedroom being down a hallway that had railings on one side that gave clear view from the stairs, and vice versa. Now, it's around midnight when I just came out the bathroom. I decide that I'll go downstairs to the kitchen to grab a water bottle before I go to bed. As I approach the stairs, I notice all the lights downstairs were turned off. Before I had entered the bathroom, my mom was downstairs and all the lights were previously on. At the time, I was still scared of the dark, so I decide to just look down from the railing to make sure the coast is clear as I muster up the courage to go downstairs. Suddenly, I hear a woman talking quietly in a foreign language. She sounds like my mom, but not entirely. And although I'm not completely fluent in my native language, I can't decipher a single word being spoken. Even then, who would she be talking to? My dad is upstairs in their bedroom, and if she's on the phone, why call in the dark? Trying not to think too much of it, I just call out, "Mom." The voice stops. I approach the stairs and take a few steps down, trying to get a better look as I call out again. "Mom, Sam." She finally speaks. Mom, what are you doing? Where are you?" Although she still doesn't quite sound like my mom, I think nothing of it and descend a few more steps to try and see her. "Sam, come downstairs," she calls urgently. Although confused, I take a few more steps. At this point, I'm halfway down the stairs. As I'm about to call out to her again, as I still see no sign of her, she says yet again, "Come downstairs," but with more urgency than before. However, literally simultaneously, I hear my actual mom talking from above me. The two voices overlapping, sounding almost exactly the same. I look towards the hallway and see the master bedroom lights shining from beneath the door, and a laugh from my dad, following my real mom's words. I look back down the stairs with horror on my face, still seeing nothing but darkness. As I turn around to run back to my room, I hear the woman laughing, no longer sounding anything like my mother. I race back to my room safely and text my family. After confirming with my sister and parents, they all claim to have been in their rooms at that moment. The sun's coming up and she wants me to push her higher. She always wants to go higher. It stopped raining an hour ago, and the trees in the overgrown park are dripping, while a low fog retreats from the coming of the light. 3 horses that sit atop girthy springs, a seesaw that's missing one set of its handles, a slide that lost its shine years ago, and a set of 6 swings that hang from a top bar that's badly bowed from use, and the passage of time. All of them suffer from deep cracks and chips in their paint, and a creeping rust that's slowly devouring them. My body shakes as I cough, and something climbs up my throat and fills my mouth. I spit it out onto the wet, clumped sand at my feet. My version of rust, I suppose. Emily doesn't notice. She's too busy giggling and kicking her feet back and forth. She's the only thing in a forgotten playground that still has life. I want to go home. I know, sweetie. I'll take you home soon. It's always soon. It's never tomorrow. She giggles again, and she goes higher. I'm deep in thought, and I keep staring at the little drops of water running down the lengths of the chain on the swing next to us. I keep thinking about what's coming, and if I'm going to break my promise to her again. We have to get back on the road. I know it, and so does she. I don't want to take her home. Okay, I'm done now, Max. Her shrill little command takes a second to pull me out of my own thoughts. Okay, sorry. I slow her down and she hops off the swing into the wet sand. We can't seem to escape the rain. It's following us. I hold her hand as we walk back to the truck. She skips through the puddles and muses about her mother, probably wondering where she is. She's never been subtle. I open the door for her and she climbs in the truck. She's only 8. This isn't what she deserves, but it's not what I deserve either. It serves a purpose. I climb into the truck, and the springs under the tired old seat groan. I'm not going to see my mommy again, am I? You're going to see her again. Today? Not today, honey. I don't belong to you, Max. I turn the key and push the cigarette lighter in. We sit in silence while it heats up. Pop. The cigarette crackles against the coils, and she just stares at me. I inhale, and then I cough up more of that awful buttery stuff, and I hork it out the window. You're sick. Really, really sick. I'm fine. She starts singing to herself. I pull the pistol out from the back of my pants and put it in the glove box, and then start driving west. We're driving for almost an hour when she stops singing and starts to cry. I don't even ask her why, because I know what's wrong. I could make it stop, but I won't. Not yet. I miss my mom. I know, honey. You said one more and we could go back. I know. You lied to me again. You've been lying for a really long time. Baby, it's complicated. I really think you should stay with me. I've been trying for so long to convince her that she should stay with me. I don't want her to go. I want you to take me home. You know, it's a good thing you're here with me. You understand? It's important that you stay. Someday you'll see your mom, I promise. But it's not going to be today. I need you today. We drive on. I follow her directions, and neither one of us speak of anything else. I notice we're going in the direction of the town where her mother lives. I wonder if she's trying to trick me. I keep coughing, and she keeps staring at me. The closer we get to the town where I took her from, the more I begin to think of her mother. I think of the pain I could bring to an end if I wasn't so selfish. I'm not stupid, Emily. Are you taking us to your house? No, because we're getting awfully close. We're not going there. We're going somewhere else. Somewhere really bad. It's almost noon when she points to a side road off of the highway. There's a faded sign that welcomes us to a town called Patience. I remember the town from when I was a kid. It became a ghost town due to an environmental disaster. Only the most stubborn stayed behind. That was a lifetime ago. It's that one. The road is cracked, and the paint that divides the lanes is almost non-existent. Tall oaks hang over the road, and long green weeds are thick on the shoulders. There's a scattering of abandoned buildings and a traffic light that doesn't work anymore. She points to my left. It's down there in that hollow, an old church. Pull over right there. I killed the engine under some gnarled oaks. I reach into the glove box and pull out my gun. I know it's loaded and ready to go, but I check it anyway. Emily just stares at me. I give her a kiss on the forehead. How many are there? She doesn't answer. She purses her lips and looks out the window. Emily, I'm not telling. What? You promised. You promised me so many times. God, not now. Emily, can we talk about this when I get back? She turns her back to me. You promised. It's not fair. I need to go home. We're really, really close. I hear my mom every night when I close my eyes. She prays for me. She wonders where I am. Well, you're fine. She doesn't know that. Honey, aren't you happy with me? What we do is important. You're going to die soon. An angel told me while I was on the swing. Her words are quiet and slow. She starts to cry. You need to let me go. I don't want to be lost if something happens to you. Nothing is going to happen to me. Understand. My voice is firm, and she knows that my mind is made up. Now, how many are there? One, I think. You think? She closes her eyes and scrunches up her face. That's all I can see. He's a very bad man. I'll be back shortly. But what about the angel? We'll talk when I get back. I don't want to be mean, but I think you forgot about what we talked about. There are things that are more important than you and me. There are things that are more important than your mother. Got it. Why am I being so mean to her? Okay, I just want my mommy to be okay. That's all. She sounds broken, as if she finally realizes that I'm never taking her back. I've never heard that sound of resignation in her voice before. I think about what it would be like to live what little time I have left without her, and I have to catch my breath. I don't want her to think I'm a monster. I take a deep breath and I have to look away from her. I don't want to lose her, but how much longer can I keep her without her hating me? Okay, maybe after this one, I'll take you back to your mother. You said that last time. I know. You lie all the time. I swallow hard. I'm a monster. I mean it. This is the last one. We can be there in an hour. Just let me do this one last time. She squints her eyes and she tries to read my face. She squeals and gives me a hug around my neck. Okay. Now you stay here. I shouldn't be very long. Be careful. I trudge through the wet underbrush. I'm being too loud, but I can't concentrate. She's about to leave, and there is nothing I can do to convince her to stay. I never should have taken her, but if I didn't, everything we've done never would have happened. We've done so much. I try to focus. It's an old church with a large sanctuary, and what looks like a few rooms built on the back of the building. The white paint has turned gray and it's shedding off in sheets. Some of the siding is missing, and the cross that sits on the top of the steeple has been turned upside down and crudely nailed back into place. The relic of a better time sits in the middle of a parking lot with tall groves of weeds shooting up through the broken pavement. There's no way to get to the building and stay hidden at the same time. I'm going to have to hope and pray that I'm not seen. The rain starts in again, and it pours in buckets. I run out of the trees and toward the front door. It's unlocked and I open it as quietly as I can. The inside is packed with junk. Furniture, car parts, trash, and piles of rotting lumber. Squalid walls of rotting refuse that reach to the ceiling. The rain comes in from holes in the roof, and rats scurry through the ruin that reeks of mold and urine. I hold the pistol in front of me. Somewhere, on the other end of the sanctuary, is the muffled sound of a television. What once was a hardwood floor is soft and spongy under my feet, and there's a narrow, crooked path that extends ahead through the waste. I slowly navigate my way along the path as it twists and turns. The sound of the television gets louder as the back of the sanctuary gets closer. I step on a floorboard and an awful creak rips through the air. I freeze in place. The television goes silent. I stand still, waiting. I say a little prayer before I take another step. The floor underneath me gives way, and my feet and legs fall through. I scream out as a jagged floorboard skewers my stomach, causing me to drop my gun. I'm stuck from the waist up and I can feel my legs flailing beneath me. My gun has fallen just out of reach. I grit my teeth and try not to make another sound as I hear a door open from the rear of the sanctuary. A shotgun is cocked. I'm pouring sweat in an instant, and I can feel blood running down my leg. I hear footsteps moving through the horde, and then he starts to bark. It's low at first, and then it gets louder. A snarling sound too human to be an animal, but too animal to be considered truly human. To my surprise, there is an answer coming from outside of the church. Another series of barks. There must be two of them. She only saw one of them. Emily has been wrong a few times, only when she's very upset or distracted. I shouldn't have come here yet. I should have talked to her and spent more time calming her down first. I pushed her. I hear the front door open. As the second one makes his way inside, they bark back and forth to each other, and its blasphemous sound is even more of a mockery to the old church than the rubbish that they've gathered inside of it. The walls of junk obscure my view from the front and behind. The one in front is getting closer. They're madly barking now, and as I reach for the gun, the floorboards bury themselves deeper into my guts. My fingertips are brushing the butt of the gun, and I give a final push forward, pushing the wood deeper inside of me. Something in my abdomen pops as it's pierced. I scream as I'm finally able to grab hold of my pistol. The one in front of me rounds the corner. He takes aim, but I pop him twice in the head before he can pull the trigger. The one behind me starts running, and I jerk to my right, tearing an already gaping wound. The wood snaps and I almost fall through the floor completely, before I'm able to prop myself up with my elbows. The second one comes around the corner of the crooked path and starts firing wildly with a rifle. But he's shooting at waist level. The bullets pass well above my head, and I empty my clip into his chest. It takes every bit of strength I have to pull myself back up onto the floor. I look at my stomach. It's not good. I put pressure on it with my left hand and make my way back to the back of the church. There are a couple of small rooms behind a door that have been used as living quarters that are just as filthy as the sanctuary. I find a roll of duct tape in one of them and start wrapping it around the wound on my stomach. I wrap it as tight as I can stand it. I'm having trouble breathing. There's a staircase that leads down into the basement inside one of the rooms. At the bottom, I find what I'm looking for. 2 children are being kept in a cage. I tell them to stay calm. I tell them that I'm calling the police. I tell them they're going to be okay. I tell them I can't stay with them. I hate leaving them there in that cage, but I'm losing a lot of blood. An angel told her I was going to die. I have to make it back to the truck. I promised her. I call the police as I walk back through the trees and tell them where to go. Those kids will be able to go home. I never stay and wait for them. I could never risk being caught myself. There would be too many questions, and I would lose Emily. Emily's face goes white when she sees me finally stumble up to the truck. Max. She starts crying. It's okay, B. It's okay. Just sit down. I throw open the door and then I jump in. She jumps across the seat and throws her arms around my neck. You're hurt really bad. I know. Just sit back down. I'll be okay. We've got to get you back to your mom. I try not to cry in front of her. One way or another, I'm losing her today. After all this time, I start driving down the highway for our last ride together. I know the way to her house. I know it all too well. She keeps going on and on about going home. I'm happy for her. I'm starting to feel a little lightheaded and cold. I wonder if I would have taken her home if this hadn't happened. I don't know that I would have. I love her too much. She saved my life. She gave me a purpose after I lost my boy. It's dusk when we finally pull up to the old house. We're here. I'm home. I turn off the truck. I'm hoping I can walk. Max! Max? I'm okay, baby. I'm okay. We both look at her house. It looks exactly the way I remember it. Except for Hogan's doghouse. Maybe Mommy finally let him inside. I think Hogan is long gone, baby. The house hasn't changed in all this time. A sign of an owner who is stuck and unable to move on. I have a part in that. Emily, I want you to wait here. Why? Just for a minute. I need to be able to say things to your mom alone. Can you just give me a minute? She nods her head. I hold her one last time. I hold her one last time, and I start to cry. I try to memorize everything. Her face, her smell, and her voice. Max. Yeah, baby. I'll stay right here as long as you let her know where I am. You promised. I will. I let her go. I get out of the truck stand. My legs are weak as I turn to her one last time in this life. I'll see you in a little bit. I stagger up to the front door and knock. After a moment, an old woman who I used to know answers the door. Hi, Maggie. She doesn't recognize me at first. It's been 30 years and a lot of hard miles. Max. Max. Oh my God. She throws her arms around me. Where have you been all this time? I fall forward into her. She helps steady me and leads me over towards her couch. She looks at the blood on her hands and the blood seeping from underneath the silver tape. Oh my God, I need to talk to you. My head goes fuzzy and I fall to the ground. She panics and turns me over. Max, you need an ambulance. She pulls out her phone and dials 911. I stare at a picture of Emily that's on her mantelpiece. Maggie gives the information to the operator and puts pressure on my stomach. Yes, I'll stay on the line. Maggie, there's no stopping this now. I need you to listen to me. I made a promise. I made Emily a promise. Max, just try to relax. No, I've been pushing off what I should have done 30 years ago. What are you talking about? She's a beautiful girl, Maggie. I point at Emily's picture. I'm trying so hard to keep it together. Yes, she was. She still is. I know where she is, Maggie. What? Maggie. I have Emily. She furrows her brow. I'm about to lose her. She's been with me ever since I've left. She tenses up. She thinks I'm delirious, and maybe I am. I close my eyes and start remembering the nightmare our little town went through. I remember the man who came into our town and took 9 children, snatched them from their beds while they slept. He took Emily from Maggie, and he took my little Bobby from me. I open my eyes. Everything is blurry. After Emily went missing, she came to me. She told me about the man who killed her. She told me she could help me find him. That's how I caught him, Maggie. That's how I caught the man who murdered all the kids. It was Emily that helped me. She only asked me for one thing after it was all over, and I have refused to give it to her this whole time. I refused because I knew I could use her. She stands up and looks down at me. I see the confusion and the anger in her face. I took her with me, Maggie. I wouldn't give her spirit rest. She's been helping me find other children. She's been helping me find people like the one who took our children when all she wanted to do was rest and give you peace. I haven't let her go. She's been wanting to come home to you, and I haven't let her. I reach into my pocket and pull out a sealed plastic bag. I've kept it with me since the night Emily came to me. I hand it to Maggie. Inside is a map I drew 30 years ago. It leads to where that monster buried Emily's body. I'm sorry I kept her from you. Everything goes dark, and for a moment, there's nothing. In the dark, I push against something. It moves away from me. Higher! I see again. The sun is coming up, and I'm warm. I feel at peace. Emily is looking at me. She's smiling. I push Bobby higher on the swing. They both giggle. I'm home.